You can now get a penis ring that tracks your erections. There's a bouncer shortage in the UK, and it's a threat to public safety. And why is a museum preserving a 95-year-old sandwich? These are the weird stories for Tuesday on Wicked Weird AF News. That's right. This is the only daily weird news podcast that does daily weird news in a closet. A penis ring is the first ever wearable erection tracker. Sounds very helpful if you have a penis and you want to track it. I like my penis to get a certain amount of steps in a day, so I'm hoping this can track it. A ring worn around your penis could help men figure out what's causing their erectile dysfunction, and it could even signal whether or not you have disease. Very helpful. The article isn't being all-inclusive, though, so let me make a change to it. It says it could help men figure out what's causing their ED, but it also could help women who happen to have a penis figure out what's causing their ED and signal if they're having a disease. This is the first ever worn wearable erection tracker that gives clues into a man's health. The article says into a man's health, but let's be very clear here. We're all inclusive at Weird AF News. We're going to say it can also give a clue into a woman who happens to have a penis health. That's what we're going to do here, guys. I'm trying not to get canceled. All right. I'm trying to be with it. All right. I'm getting there. Okay. Well, as you know, erections or lack of these erections can indicate a number of underlying physical and even mental health problems. Yeah, you can get into a bad state upstairs, and that can affect everything going on downstairs as well. I was very depressed, and I'm not sure if it affected my erections, but it seemed to affect everything. My acid reflux went up. I'm not going to go on and on about my own struggle with depression, but you guys know how it can be. It has a cascading effect through your whole body, it seems like. The article says, more often than not, men who suffer with erectile dysfunction struggle to work out why exactly. This further causes emotional or relationship stress. Yeah, you sit around with your lover trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You know, your lover can try different things. You try different bedroom antics to get you going. Maybe get a little crazy, get a little risque. And then eventually you just get that blue pill. The blue pill, guys. But, you know, you can't rely on that all the time for the rest of your life. You want to find out what the underlying thing is going on. You don't want to take a blue pill every time you feel like making love with the blue. You want to be able to figure out what's going on under there. Get yourself healthy. I recommend workout regimens. This is very good for you, for your libido, for sure. Get your workouts in every day if you can. It's very helpful. I also recommend having some herb supplements too, such as, have you guys heard of ginseng? This is very good. It's a Chinese herb that's good for the body. I'm not a doctor. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. Okay, the article says, but while it's easy to assume that erections are a signal of libido or bedroom performance, they in fact reveal a lot more about a man's health, especially as they get older. Enter this device, the ring. It's called the Atom Sensor. It's made by Atom Health. And you attach the ring to the base of your wee-wee with a band, and you wear it overnight. You don't wear it all day long. It is comfortable to wear under pajamas, and it is almost unnoticeable, the creators say. Now, here's what it does, okay? It counts how many erections that you have during sleep. Nighttime erections, if you don't know, indicate the erection mechanism is in check and is working properly, even if it does not work once they are between the sheets. You can still get nighttime erections, and that lets you know that, okay, the system is there. Now, can you guess how many erections that the average entity with a penis has during the night? Can you guess? I'll give you some choices. Would you say that it's 10, 7, 3 to 5, or 14? Well, if you said 3 to 5, you win, guys. You win. That is the average number of erections a healthy penis person has. Did you also know, this is surprising, that the erections can last up to 3 hours in total overnight? That's a long time to be sleeping with an erection. I had no idea. It's not clear entirely why this happens, but some experts say this is the body's way to keep the erection mechanism healthy. Keep it going, keep the blood pumping, getting that erectile tissue workout overnight. Thankfully, this is great. So the Atom sensor will tell you if you're having enough erections in the night. Your lack of nighttime erections may suggest something biologically wrong, and you want to get on that. You want to figure it out. It also might be nerve damage if you are diabetic, it says, caused by low testosterone or signal cardiovascular problems overall. Okay. Let's get down to the disease thing, because it mentioned earlier. Now, scanning through the rest of the article, it doesn't say anything about any diseases except for diabetes, which... So I think the erectile dysfunction is a underlying signal that you could be suffering from diabetes, and that's why they're mentioning it up top. Now, you'll be happy to hear that this device will be available for home use by mid-2022. Home use? But what if I want to use it on the bus? You can't tell me where to use my penis ring. Okay. The inventor of this says, hey, man, people count their steps. They monitor their glucose, their sleep, their fitness, everything. It might, this might be part of the quantitative health that men are interested in. For a healthy population, you might want to monitor how things are going on down there. And as we age, things deteriorate. You know that. All right. Yeah, we know that. So this could help you. It doesn't say the price of this ring. I'd imagine it's not cheap. So if you can't afford it, I suggest just have the person that you sleep with every night put their hand on your private parts throughout the night, and they can tell you, hopefully by morning, how many erections that you had during the night. If you can't find someone to do that for you, well, you're shit out of luck, I guess. There's a bouncer shortage in the UK, and it could be a threat to public safety. A shortage of bouncers in the UK could become a threat to public safety, the Nighttime Industry Association has warned. They always carry out that last syllable. Has warned. Okay, they're blaming the lack of security staff at venues like bars and lounges on people quitting their jobs during the pandemic, and believes that staffing levels are actually under 70% of what they should be. And this is a public safety issue. Of course, you need bouncers, man. Especially over in the UK where everybody's a drunk. It says Brexit and a lack of EU workers has also been a contributing factor as well. 1 in 5 nightlife businesses, I guess they mean bars, pubs, you guys call them pubs still, they're believed to have closed or cut hours because they can't get security staff at all. They can't even hire bouncers to stay in business. Oh, this is terrible. Nightclub bosses now want the government to step in. What's the government going to do? Send you, soldiers? We need soldiers to be bouncers. Yeah, dip into the army personnel and use those people as bouncers. Here's a quote from Michael Kill, who's the CEO of some entertainment company or something. Door security staff shortages in the nighttime economy are becoming critical. Yes, we carried out a survey a few months ago which found that security resources in the sector was only at 70%, and I'm afraid that the situation has only deteriorated further since then. Whether it is through acting as a first line of defense against a terrorist attack or intervening to break up violent incidents, licensed security staff are fundamental to public safety. He also added that the current shortages are beginning to put the public in real jeopardy. Then they talked to some guy named Peter, who runs some nightclubs over there. He said the problem has been building slowly, but has become much, much worse since the pandemic. Yes, it's been a real struggle at times, but we have fortunately often been able to push back with security agencies to find the teams that we need just in time. Thankfully, we are in a particularly strong position, though, as we can agree to take on staff in large numbers. This is particularly hitting independent clubs and bars and lounges very, very hard. They're calling on the government to do more through funding training initiatives, and they want to tackle the shortages through legislation. Yeah, they're going to pass the Bouncer Act. This is what they're going to do. You get the Bouncer Bonus Act. Anyone who becomes a bouncer gets a bonus. You get a tax break. What about that? I mean, this is a tough sell, trying to get people to be bouncers during a pandemic. I mean, No one wants to work where you have to touch the public. I don't know how these massage places are staying in business. It's like, I don't want to be touching strangers. Or do I? No, I don't want to be touching strangers. And you don't pay bouncers enough to put their lives at risk. What do they get paid? Not very much. So, I don't know what you do with that. But I'd imagine not only are a lot of these venues going to close, but you're going to see like just out of control situations without the safety that you normally have. The barroom brawl situation could get out of control. And what do you do at that point? No. Well, in my country, the citizens are carrying guns, so they usually take it into their own hands, these matters. So I don't know what you guys got going on over there to solve the problem. Just let your citizens have more guns, guys. That's how you do it, don't you know? I mean, who needs a security guard or a bouncer when everybody in the bar's got a gun, right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? Yeah, we're doing it right. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A museum is working very hard to preserve a 95-year-old sandwich. Let's find out why. What's so special about the Sammy? Locked behind 5 doors, hidden in a dark container and wrapped in cellophane sits a nearly 100-year-old artifact. It's Clyde Pangborn's sandwich. Who the hell is Clyde Pangborn? I have no idea. Let's find out. If they're preserving his sandwich, he must have done something important. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center in Washington has a sandwich from 1926 and plans to keep it permanently. Well, good luck, man. These things they degrade. You know, it's a sandwich. You can't keep this thing forever. Can you mummify a sandwich? You might have to do it. Anna Spencer is the museum's collections coordinator. She keeps Clyde Pangborn's sandwich in a temperature-controlled room. She's the one who found the sandwich, hidden among a collection of nearly forgotten archived items last summer. Here's a quote from Anna. "We just want to make sure nothing happens to the sandwich. Just trying to keep the Sammy preserved, that's what we do." The sandwich is boxed, wrapped, and stored in the museum's archives, giving it 4 total layers of protection against the elements. Anna Spencer was shocked when she rediscovered the sandwich. "I just think it's fascinating." This bite-sized piece of history is believed to have been taken as a souvenir before Clyde Pangborn's famous first-ever flight across the Pacific Ocean in 1931. Oh, this is what Clyde did. Flew across the ocean. Didn't eat the sandwich, though, apparently. Or maybe brought several sandwiches and only ate some of them. So this sandwich was left over. This month actually marks the 90th anniversary of the flight across the Pacific Ocean by Clyde. It's a historical achievement that put the Wenatchee area in the history books. But why did the museum choose to preserve this sandwich? Well, Anna says it's because Clyde Pangborn and his trans-Pacific flight still holds a huge amount of historical significance to the Wenatchee Valley. She also said, well, it's just one of those items among some 70,000 artifacts that are also preserved at the museum. The idea is to collect pieces that tell a story of this valley, she says. The museum doesn't know a whole lot about the sandwich, and there are still several pieces of history yet to be known, like what kind of sandwich it is, or why it was stowed away in the first place. How do you not know what kind of sandwich it is, Anna Spencer? Just open that bad boy up. What is it, ham and cheese? Is it turkey and brie? Huh? Is it an Italian BMT, like from Subway? She says it's kind of an enigma. Now, are you going to be able to see this sandwich? Well, no, the museum is not going to put the artifact on display due to its delicate nature. It is a Sammy after all. But the residents in the valley can rest assured that this slice of fame is sticking around for years and years to come. Oh, their sandwich preservation game is tight over there at the Wenatchee Museum. Anna Spencer's on it, studying sandwich preservation techniques, I'm sure. There's probably some YouTube videos about it. I still want to know if you could mummify a sandwich. I feel like you could do that. Well, it's kind of cool that we could learn a little bit about history. I had no idea about this Pan-Pacific flight, and of course, museums tend to have very fascinating, weird, eclectic items, which I always love. You're like, this is Abraham Lincoln's pube or something. Or maybe that's a bad example. I apologize. And it's news. It's always weird news. That's right. It's always weird news. I hope I gave you a chuckle after you listened to the depressing, deplorable mainstream news on your device. I always like to, bring some levity to the news, and I hope I've done that for you. If you really get a lot out of Weird AF News and you want to support the show, you can go to my Patreon. That's the way to do it. Get your name up on the wall in the closet here, a.k.a. my extravagant recording studio. Right there, baby. Get on that wall. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews is where you go. You also get bonus Weird AF content. All sorts of stuff in there. Great stuff. I put in content every week, as a matter of fact. I don't know if everybody's taking it in on there, but I'm inundating people with too much Weird AF content is what's going on. But yeah, get in on that. Join the Patreon. Support the show. Or you can support the show simply by telling a friend to listen to Weird AF News. Why not? If you don't know, you can listen to Weird AF News on all your devices, including your smart speakers, by telling them to play the Weird AF News podcast. It's also available on YouTube, on the tube. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, it's @FunnyJones. Keep up. Send me articles. Say what's up. I'm always pleased to hear from fans of the show on there, and I usually answer my DMs, so you can reach out to me on there, @FunnyJones. If you want to call the show, 646-450-2012, or email me, funnyjones@gmail.com. All right. Hope you had a lovely, whatever time of day it was or is. You're great.